Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Friday, September the 9th. We're going to talk about the historic city of Jefferson today, and I've got Ann Green and Lois Hogan with us. Good to have both of you here.
Hi,
ladies.
thank you for having us.
Now, you're having, of course, we all know about the tornado that blew through Jefferson City earlier this year, and we'll get into that in just a little bit, but you're having a homes tour on September the 22nd. That we want to start with, right?
That's right. We're really excited. This is our 14th annual homes tour, and we're highlighting 6 houses that are in the Forest Hill neighborhood. That neighborhood was developed in 1922, so it's approaching 100 years old, and we've got some amazing houses there that attendees will be able to go in and see.
And the tornado did not touch any of those.
The tornado did not touch any of those. They're in pristine condition, so we appreciate the homeowners for letting us into those buildings.
Okay.
And
so we got some pictures.
Yes.
And for people listening on the radio, I want you to describe. That's a beautiful house. This is where?
It is. So these are all up and down Forest Hill. We tried to make it a walking tour this year, and so we were lucky enough to find 6 homeowners that are letting us into their homes.
This is a brick home.
Exactly.
How old?
From the mid-1920s to early 1930s.
Oh, it's pristine.
It is, and great landscaping.
This next house looks like something you'd see up in New England.
It is, and that's one of the nice features about Forest Hill, actually, is that it really looks like a scene from a movie. We've got these trees that line the sidewalks, and some of the limbs cross over the street.
This one looks like a country estate.
Yes.
And then here, it looks like a small little cottage from Hansel and Gretel.
It does. It does.
Yeah. And here's another one.
And we tried to get a mix of different designs and architectural styles, so that way people can see what was really happening from the mid-20s to the 1940s.
So, and each one of these homes are unique in their own way.
Exactly.
Yes. So if people want to come on the homes tour in Jefferson City, what do they need to do?
So they can purchase tickets on our website at historiccityofjefferson.org, or they can visit us on Facebook at HCJ Inc.
Okay, our historiccityofjefferson.org.
Correct.
The homes tour is September the 22nd. Can you do the tour at your own leisure?
Yes. You can. The tour starts at 1 and it ends at 5. From 2:30 to 5:30, we've got our VIP tickets, which are $25 a piece, and that gets you access to the reception tent with some music. So if you want to visit a few homes and then go listen to some music, have a glass of wine, you're welcome to. That's with our VIP ticket, which is $12. Our advance tickets are $12.
Okay. Oh, you have a glass of wine.
So exactly.
Yeah. But you can't carry the wine through the homes.
No, we advise not.
Okay. All right. You put on little booties when you go into the house?
Not this year.
No?
So not unless it's raining.
All right. Now, the other thing we wanted to touch on was the devastation in Jefferson City with that tornado. And you are doing what as far as restoration?
So we've got a few different programs in place, and Lois is actually a homeowner. She rehabbed one of the buildings and then sold it to her nephew, so she can kind of...
Well, one of the things that Historic City of Jefferson wanted to do was just help the homeowners who were affected by the storm. And so we have a permit program that we collaborated with the city to... So Historic City of Jefferson is essentially paying the $25 for each building permit that has to take place. And we consolidated those so the homeowners would not have to get several different permits. They streamlined the process.
Yeah. Now, we're showing you, we've got a picture up here right now. This was a home, right?
That actually is a business.
This was a business. But from the condition it's in right now, it just looks terrible. This is going to be able to be restored?
That one actually is not. That one, in fact, today it's being demolished today.
Oh, that's too bad. Then here's a row. Is this a row of homes?
Yes, on Capitol Avenue.
And how many of these houses will be able to be rebuilt?
Most all of them. We only think that there are about 2 homes that are not going to be able to be rebuilt at this time. And that's another thing that Historic City of Jefferson has done. We've paid for the structural inspections on a couple of the properties to try to help the homeowner get an engineer's opinion of whether or not they were
It
salvageable.
can be rebuilt.
Correct.
So you're saying most of the homes can be rebuilt?
Yes, and we're very grateful.
But almost from the ground up with some of them, right?
Just a couple. Most of them had structural damage, but it's not such that the building's going to have to be rebuilt. So we think that most of them are salvageable. A lot of tender loving care is going to have to happen again. Like on my home, it was a 6-year process to get it restored, and so.
Is this the one with the columns?
Yes.
Okay, we had a picture of this. This is that's just beautiful.
It's a beautiful house.
Yeah.
That looks like the front of the White House.
It is. That's what we call it because my maiden name is White. So I sold it to my nephews in November, and we call it the White House.
Yeah, it does look now. What happened to the columns?
The columns were blown out because of the hurricane. Because of the tornado, right?
The tornado.
Yeah.
But the portico,
it did. Those pictures were taken the morning of the storm, and it's been braced since that time. We were able to brace it, but the columns are 22 feet tall, and they're $5,000 a piece just for the material to replace them. So,
but it's being restored.
Yes, unfortunately, shout out to Wall Street Insurance Group. They've been terrific partners in the process, and so that home is going to be restored. It'll take a little bit of time.
Little did you know that evening, that was in May, wasn't it?
Correct, May 22nd.
Little did you know that evening in May what was going to happen in Jefferson City.
That's right.
I remember all of us were on pins and needles that night because there were storms and tornadoes moving through every part of central Missouri. And I remember it was about 11:30 that night. I thought it was all clear. And I turned the TV off, and the next morning I get up and I hear what had happened in Jefferson City. Mm-hmm. And that was right about midnight, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, all of us were thinking of you, and it appears that the majority of what was damaged will be able to be repaired.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
And we're happy about that. But if you want to help out more, what can they do?
So they can visit our website, which is historiccityofjefferson.org. Follow us on Facebook, and we're constantly doing updates on historic preservation related matters in our community. And really, we just want people to kind of stop, think about it, and realize that these buildings matter. They're a part of our community. They're a part of our history, and really a part of who we are. So
Exactly. So many times, in the name of progress, people will go in and tear down what was there for 100 years to build something that's shiny and new. And shiny and new is not always better.
That's true. And a lot of times these buildings were built with quality materials by craftsmen that did it by hand.
Right.
So it's important to save them.
And don't forget the Homes Tour in Jefferson City on September the 22nd. Everybody is invited to be a part of that. Ladies, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you for having us.
Ann Green and Lois Hogan, it was a pleasure meeting both of you. And come back again, will you?
We will.
All right.
Thank you.
Have yourself a nice day. If there's something you'd like to hear or see, I'd love to hear from you. Drop me an email. That's pepperp@missouri.edu. And when you're out and about this weekend, be careful. Bye-bye.